In today's video, we are going to 100% Swamp Attack, completing all the 570 levels, 61 achievements, 11 bosses, and 49 hours of pure grind and suffering. This game was fun to play, but at the same time, very long to finish. So if you can, leave your like and hype up the video, and of course subscribe to the channel so you won't lose videos like this. Now let's get into it. Alright, so we're starting off the game here with this intro, got this gator trying to attack us and take us down, and our objective here is super simple. We're stuck in the swamp where there are tons of monsters, and we're gonna have to defend our house against all kinds of enemies and threats that are coming our way. Right now it's just this crappy gator, but you'll see later on it's gonna get super tough with tons of different creatures. So we start off by killing them, defending the house nice and easy. Right now we've only got this shotgun, kinda weak, no upgrades, barely any ammo. And after taking down some gators, we get our first gift with this bomb here. As you can see with it, we can throw it at the creatures and it makes it way easier to take them down, obviously. I didn't really hit that many and only killed one gator with the bomb, but whatever. And that's how we finish with another bomb and the first level complete. And get ready because there are a ton of levels ahead. So I watched an ad just to be able to double the coins, so I could get more coins and buy more stuff. Obviously, because we're gonna need lots of upgrades. So let's upgrade our shotgun here. Right now, it's super cheap, only 300 gold. There are some weapons later on, you'll see it's insane how much gold I'm gonna need. But whatever, let's keep going. And then, checking things out, I saw there were some special offers in the shop that were really cheap. I think it's incredible in this game that the stuff you buy with microtransactions and all that is really affordable. There are some games that are super expensive to buy stuff in, and this one was dirt cheap. Here is with Brazilian currency, but it's less than $1 US. So I went ahead and bought these two upgrades, the one that gives more gifts and the one that gives more coins, and it's gonna help me a ton with this grind. And before you guys ask and say in the comments, no, I can't skip anything in this game. Nothing. I have to do everything, 100% myself. I can't skip anything with coins. And another thing too, I'm not using Lucky Patcher. I know a lot of people are gonna think I'm using it, but I'm actually buying this with my own money. And now, yeah, we jump right into our second level of the first episode. And the beginning is pretty chill, just the regular gators. And there's also this duck that we can click on in exchange for coins. Then the turtle shows up, which can't be underestimated, because even though she's really slow, if you deal a certain amount of damage to her, she starts coming out of her shell and running like crazy. So seriously, if you underestimate her and get caught off guard, she's gonna kill you, so you gotta be careful. And we finish the second level, and now that we have double coins, we get way more money. And we start the third level. As you can see, there are way more enemies now. Tons of gators mixed with some turtles. And even though it doesn't have any new enemies, any new monsters, we now have a new item to use, which is the Molotov. And man, this Molotov is really good. As you can see, when I throw it at the gators, it hits a huge area that keeps doing damage to enemies for a long time until the fire goes out. So it's way better than that bomb. And that's how we complete the third level of the first episode. So I bought some more shotgun ammo and upgraded it too. And then I ran out of coins, I'm broke again, so we gotta farm more. And after that, we also unlock the quick missions now. And with them, we can get coins way faster. Last like 30 seconds, 40, a minute, somewhere around there, which is great for getting more coins. And besides that, it doesn't use any kind of ammo, nothing. Everything you get there is random stuff you can get. And there's this slot machine type game for us to get ammo. It's random, we can get a shotgun, Molotov, and it only shows stuff we've already unlocked. So when we're closer to the end of the game and have unlocked lots of stuff, lots of different weapons are gonna show up that we can use in this slot machine thing. You just gotta be careful if you have more weapons unlocked, more stuff unlocked. You might end up getting weapons with unlimited ammo, then you gotta be smart and manage it right so you don't end up using everything and really won't be able to pass. You're gonna have to reset every time you run out of ammo and can't kill all the enemies. But since we only have the shotgun, it has infinite ammo, so we don't need to worry about that. So I just kill everyone no problem, and we're heading to the next level. And now we have a new enemy, which is the raccoon. You gotta be really careful with this one too because he's super fast and has a bomb under him. So if he gets close to us, it explodes and does a ton of damage. So you gotta stay alert. but I managed to get through everything without much trouble. These early ones are pretty chill. They're more to introduce you to the game, show you the mechanics so you can learn. Only at the very end there, I almost got hit by the bombs. These guys almost got close to me and almost blew up on me. But it worked out, I managed to kill them, and we passed the level super smoothly. And well, since this time I ended up getting a lot of gold, it was 4,500, I watched an ad to be able to double that gold, getting 9,000. And obviously, we're gonna use this to upgrade the shotgun. And I also took the opportunity to increase its ammo even more. Now it has 11. And now we're introduced to a different type of level, which happens every 5 levels. There's gonna be this one, which is the UFO, which is like an alien spaceship, and it basically sucks up all your weapons, all the ammo you have, and then you're gonna have to work to get them back. These ships will keep passing overhead, and when you shoot at them, you can recover a weapon, a random weapon. And it's just a bit of it. You won't recover all your ammo at once. But for now, it's super easy because there's nothing unlocked yet. I only have this shotgun, so at most it took my bomb and my Molotov. But later on, when you're loaded with weapons and stuff, it becomes super hard because it literally takes everything you have. You're left with absolutely nothing. Just the shotgun. And another thing I haven't mentioned to you guys yet, we have this new enemy, which is this annoying mosquito, man. He's super easy to kill. Just one hit and you kill him, but he's really annoying. So after finishing this level super easily, we got a total of 290 coins. And in the next level, we're introduced to this pepper now, which actually was available before. We could use it before, but now the game showed us how to use it. When you grab it and activate it, you can reload way faster. It's really quick, you reload super fast and can kill enemies pretty easily. And as you can see in this, there were tons of gators, so it was really necessary to use that pepper, otherwise it would have been super hard. And we finished the level by killing some raccoons and lots of gators. And with that, we also unlock a new weapon. And this one is really good, you'll see in the next one. And I also upgraded the shotgun, which is now almost at max level. So following on, we have a new enemy, which is the beaver. And even though he's slow, if you mess up and let him get close to you, he does massive damage with his chainsaw. Besides him, we also unlock the freezer, and this freezer is super clutch. It literally freezes all enemies if they're nearby. It saves you big time when you're in trouble, when you're about to die. And going back to the shop, I buy an upgrade for the Uzi and also buy max ammo for the shotgun, which now has 12 in the mag. And in the next level, there were no new enemies. It was super chill, super simple, just mix them up a bit. And at the very end, we unlock something new, which is this wood for our house that's going to make it stronger against enemies. And by buying it in the shop, we unlock our first achievement, which is this handyman one, basically for buying that piece of wood. And here we run into a problem this game has, which is that energy system. And even though it's not a gacha game, they still put in this system. And I have to keep waiting for the energy to recharge so I can play again. But since I need to grind this game a lot, I can't just wait around. Otherwise, it would take forever having to pause the game, play again, pause. So I decided to buy this pack of 100 potions, which were pretty cheap actually. It was $2.59 for 100 potions, which are gonna last the entire game. Because with one potion, I can recharge all the energy, which would take almost an hour to recharge everything. So it's gonna save me a ton of waiting time, these potions. And now, with our energy fully recharged, we're going to our next level, which now has a new enemy, which is the rat. And my God, he's super annoying because he shoots from far away with that rifle of his and does a lot of damage. Especially if many rats pile up, it's gonna do tons of damage from far away because he doesn't need to get close to you to do damage. He does damage from range. So you gotta be alert and kill them first. But still, this level was super easy because there weren't that many creatures. Not many rats, not many gators, so it was chill. I didn't even use my Uzi yet. I only used my shotgun because I wanted to save ammo. Because you know, ammo is expensive. I'm not going to spend all my coins, so I'm being conservative and only spending what I need to. In the next one, we have another one of these levels with these alien ships that steal all your ammo, so you've got to be careful because now I only have the shotgun, just the basics. And the hardest part was these beavers because they're super annoying and have tons of health. and obviously those damn rats that keep shooting from far away. But it was pretty manageable, and finishing it, we unlock another defense for our house, which is this chameleon. He's really good because he can kill all the insects that get close. So we buy him and move on to our next level. And in this one, we have something new. Now the monsters have this thing on their head. I don't know the name. This kitchen thing, pot, I don't know, a strainer. I don't know what that thing is called. But that makes them have way more defense, way more resistance, and needing way more hits and damage to die. But with a bit of luck, we pass this and get tons of ammo. As you can see, I've got 20 Molotovs, 9 freezers, and I'm not using them. So I'm stockpiling for when we get to more advanced levels and it's harder, lots of creatures, so I can use all of them, you know? So I don't have to spend too many coins either. And we continue in this next level, which is super chill. Actually, all these next ones are gonna be super easy. And I'm gonna try to summarize a bit more because there are lots of levels that have nothing new. It's just the same thing and no new items. So the ones that don't have much new stuff, I'm just gonna give a quick summary, just say I did them. But anyway, here we unlock the M16, which is a really good weapon, but I still prefer the Uzi because it hits more enemies, it's better for a specific enemy, and after finishing our next level, which has nothing new, just the same monsters, we go back to the shop and do the last upgrade on the shotgun, maxing it out. And with that, we also unlock our second achievement in the game. And I also buy an upgrade for the M16. So after finishing some levels that had nothing special, same monsters, super easy, we unlock these evil levels, which are basically the same thing, just way harder with way more monsters. I did the first one just to see what it's like, and it was pretty manageable. Way more monsters than normal, but since it's the first level, it's easy. You know, it has to be. At the end, a bunch more gators showed up, so I decided to use our freezer, and it's really good. It's the first time I used it, if I'm not mistaken, and it freezes monsters for a certain amount of time, so I can easily kill everyone and pass the level. And now, back to our campaign, we have these damn turtles that now come without their shell. But by using our Uzi and mowing down all the turtles, we managed to pass this and unlocked a new defense, which is this wood with spikes that's going to help defend us and give our house more health. So we buy it in the shop and move on to our next level, which was super easy. This one literally only had gators. It was a much bigger amount, but it was still easy because it was only gators. So we passed pretty smoothly. Then I buy some upgrades for explosives in the shop, like dynamite, that Molotov, the freezer too. And so we head to our first boss of episode 1. Yes, which is a giant beaver. The level starts with the beavers normally. Super easy, he just has that thing on his head that gives them more health. And after a while, our giant beaver finally shows up. And man, he's super tanky, takes forever to kill. So I used everything I had. All the explosives, Molotov, freezer. I blasted the guy with everything I had. All the weapons, used the M16, used the Uzi. I literally bombarded him. And that's how I managed to pass and complete our first episode, also unlocking another achievement, which is pest control, for finishing the first episode, obviously. Then I go to the shop and buy some upgrades for the Uzi and also for the Molotov, and going back, we unlock a new mode, which is challenge mode. Basically, it's 66 levels with way higher difficulty, and in this mode we can unlock some new weapons, like for example, the minigun. But I'm not going to do this now because it's super hard, we're going to need way more weapons, way more defense, so since we're weak, I only did the first level just to get a taste of this mode. And basically, it works like this. You only use random weapons from the ones you have, obviously, like in those quick missions that have the wheel. The difference is there's no wheel here, there's only a chest that you open, a box. You open it and specific weapons from the map come out with limited ammo too. And to be honest, this level was super hard. It had several new creatures, probably from episode 2, that already showed up here. Like, for example, this pig that's swimming, diving, and surfacing. I don't think it's a pig, it's a boar. I don't know what that is. It's got these diving goggles. And there's also this piranha that keeps going up and down in the water all the time. And the hard part about them is that they hide. So you have to kill them when they're above water, and when they go below, you have to wait and shoot when they come up again. That makes it a bit tricky, but after using all our ammo and almost dying at the end from these creatures that stay underwater, we managed to kill them and pass this level. And starting the first level of episode 2, we have a new enemy, a new monster, which is this giant insect. Yes, it's way bigger than that mosquito we have and way tougher too. He's chubby, tanks way more bullets, and pretty annoying. Seriously, this creature is super annoying. It takes forever to kill, and when a bunch of mosquitoes pile up, it becomes unbearable. But we managed to pass this without taking too much damage, because the first level of episode 2 is way easier. When we get to the final episodes, it's gonna get tough. In level 2, there wasn't much new, just this gas can we unlocked at the end. And being honest, it's kinda weak. I barely used that gas can. Now, in level 3, we have this new enemy, which is this giant blue insect. And basically, the only useful thing it does is steal your explosives. Everything you throw, it might end up eating. At least it only eats once and then takes off. But it's pretty annoying, and you gotta be careful with it. And after passing this using the Uzi, we go to the next one. And in this one, my friend, there were no creatures in the lake, but only annoying insects everywhere. They're really irritating, but it's still easy to pass. And at the end, we unlock another item to use, which is this battery that electrocutes enemies. It's one of the best for me, the one I use the most throughout the entire game basically. It's really clutch, you'll see. Then I go back to the shop and do some upgrades on defense, because now there are tons of insects. You saw that last level was only insects. And in the next level, it was another one of those UFO ones, with this alien ship that steals all my ammo. And this one started getting tougher. I didn't die, but it already started taking more of my health because there were tons of creatures. And since I was running low on ammo and items, because it's one of these ship levels, right, where it steals everything, I was scraping by on ammo and it was tough. So I lost more health, but I managed to pass. And I kept going through the levels using all the items I had, especially this electric battery that helps a ton. Seriously, it's the best item in the game. And here, as you can see, the bosses from previous episodes start showing up. Since I'm in episode 2, there's only one boss, but this annoying boss already started appearing, which is super hard to kill in episode 2, in the regular episodes. So it starts getting more complex. You'll see that in the last levels, in the last episodes, several bosses are going to pile up and things are going to get serious. But for now, it's pretty manageable. I also unlocked this new item, which is this acid rain. I thought it was kind of crap, to be honest, because it kills very little, and I don't know, didn't use it much. But after finishing this level, we get another achievement, which is this multi-shot one, managing to kill 5 enemies in just one shotgun blast. And I kept passing levels, doing some weapon upgrades, until I got to level 12, where we have a new enemy, which is this hedgehog. They're kinda slow, but you gotta be careful because they're carrying this bomb, as you can see. And they're immune to gas, so you can't mess around. But I kept passing levels, grinding, also unlocked these spikes, which are wooden spikes, and there was one where I almost died. I was left with just a tiny bit of health, but at least in that one, I unlocked this new weapon, which is this flamethrower. It's okay, but I ended up not using it much. I preferred using the other weapons. I thought they were stronger. So I do several upgrades, buy lots of ammo, and many explosives, especially this battery that electrocutes enemies, because now it's time for the boss of episode 2. Yes, things are gonna get harder now, so let's stay sharp. And this boss, as some might have expected, is a giant insect. My friend, let me tell you, this thing tanks a lot. Seriously, I had to throw everything I had at it. Stuff to electrocute, threw flamethrowers, used M16, explosives, everything I had to kill this creature, because it tanked so much damage. After killing it, we get several items, and also unlock an achievement for finishing episode 2. And in this next episode, as you can see, there's a giant monster we're gonna have to defeat. In the very first level, there are tons of these piranhas that keep jumping up and killing you. Seriously, this is one of the most annoying creatures in the game, because it keeps hiding all the time and then jumps up, so you have to time it right to shoot at it. Look, in just the first level of episode 3, the amount of piranhas coming. Yeah, things are starting to get complicated. Here, it's already getting tough, and I'm having to use all the items I have, all the ammo, the entire arsenal. And like I said, in this episode, there's a monster we're gonna have to defeat, and it keeps throwing these barrels at us. If we don't shoot and destroy them, they hit the house and take tons of health. So you gotta be careful. And after passing this level with a lot of struggle, because my god, the creatures are getting insane now, there are so many monsters in this swamp, we unlock another achievement for managing to destroy 100 flying enemies. And since there are tons of annoying insects, I decided to do an upgrade on our frog, which is getting close to max level. So we keep going through levels, and now we unlock this new stop sign. And obviously, as you already imagined, it makes enemies stop, which is the purpose of a stop sign. A bunch of stop signs help out, make things easier, like it's really good. You just place it calmly and kill the creatures. And now enemies start getting stronger and more resistant, and they stay inside this barrel, man. Seriously, this crappy barrel keeps protecting them, making them super tanky, so it gets way harder to kill the creatures. I kept going, doing more levels, doing more weapon upgrades, and I took a break. Decided to stop playing for the day, and coming back on the second day, they show me this thing, which is a daily reward. I was like, wow, something really good is coming here, and they literally give me only 400 coins. Seriously, they're messing with me. 400 coins? Are you kidding me? I get 400 coins in a minute in this game. Jesus Christ. But continuing the grind, creatures get more and more resistant. Even this damn mosquito. Not mosquito, this blue creature, this ball of fur. I don't know what this thing is that flies around. Even he's sitting in this pot, this kitchen thing I don't know the name of. And like I said, bosses from previous levels start showing up. And even this giant insect showed up again for me. I'm gonna have to keep killing bosses multiple times throughout levels. I don't know if they have the same resistance as during the boss fight, you know, when you face them for the first time versus when you face them in random episodes. If they're weaker or if it's the same thing. Because it's pretty annoying having to face them all the time. But after killing it, we unlock a new weapon that I really liked, which is this crossbow sniper mixed with a bow. Anyway, this weapon is really good, you'll see. One shot from it kills all enemies it hits. It's awesome. Except for these creatures hiding in this damn barrel, hiding from me, not coming out for a fair fight. They're more resistant. I can't kill them in one shot. But the ones that are unprotected, we take them out first try with just one arrow and kill everyone. So I kept going, completing the next levels, mainly doing lots of upgrades on the crossbow because I really liked it and it's going to be super useful for the next boss. And here we are at the boss, this giant monster, the swamp monster. Finally, we're gonna face him. And the level starts with several monsters hiding in barrels. And then he finally shows up. My God, it's really a giant monster. And to kill him, I had to use tons of freezers to freeze him constantly so he couldn't get close to me, and unload all the mags, all the ammo I had to kill this bastard. And finally killing him, we complete this episode and get, obviously, an achievement, which is this monster kill. Actually, with this achievement, I ended up leveling up on Google Play. Now I'm level 13. Pretty cool. And now the next episode, as you can see, already started getting more sinister. Now it's an episode with an alien theme, and it's already abducting that cow there. And get ready, because this cow is gonna get crazy in the next levels. So we start this episode, and at first, the only difference in the first level at least is this helmet they have with an alien antenna, which is way stronger than what they were using before. And in the second level of episode 4, we have this new enemy that's in this ship. And the annoying thing about him is that he shoots from far away. These are the most annoying ones. You gotta stay alert. If you forget about them, they start taking tons of your health. So always prioritize these creatures that shoot from range. And continuing, getting to level 4, we have another new enemy, which is this pink alien creature. And the annoying thing about him is that he's super resistant and tanks tons of bullets, so it takes forever to kill him. You gotta be careful. If you let him get too close to you, you might end up taking tons of damage because it'll take a while to kill him. So always keep shooting from when he's way back there. And doing that, I managed to pass easily. But mainly, I managed to pass because of this crossbow, man. It's so good, it literally kills several enemies, and that saves big time. Besides this freezer and this electric battery, they're super good too. Some of the best items in the game. And we get to another one of these UFO levels with an alien ship. And my friend, this one was super hard. Seriously, this one was crazy. It was tons of creatures coming at once, lots of gators piled up, lots of these alien creatures, and I couldn't take it. I couldn't resist. I ended up dying. Seriously, it was the first time I died in the game because these bastards piled up too much. But then they offered me to use a potion to revive. I didn't know the game had this function, so I used it. I ended up using this potion, and that way, I managed to pass this UFO level. And with that, we also unlock a new defense for our house, which is this oil barrel. And going back to the shop, I also show you guys, I forgot to mention before, but we also unlocked this defense, which is this metal, that helps make the house stronger and more resistant. And getting to level 7, we have another new enemy, which is this alien creature carrying a nuclear bomb in its hand. This one is super dangerous. You gotta be careful because if you take damage from this bomb, it takes tons of health. Luckily in this level, I didn't take any damage from the bomb, otherwise it would have been crazy, and I managed to pass. And in level 9, we have an even more irritating and annoying enemy than the rats. You remember the rats I mentioned at the beginning of the video? Yeah, they were already super irritating because they shot from far away with their crappy shotgun and you had to be careful. But now we have this skinny green alien, and the problem with him is that he keeps diving in the water, hiding, and appears for a really short time, shoots at you, and hides again. So you gotta be really smart to shoot when he's out, not let him have too much health, and kill him quickly, otherwise he's gonna take tons of your health and do lots of damage to you. And to be honest, this freezer is really good. It helped me and saved me a lot, especially in this level. Look at the health I had at the end. If that alien farted, I would have died, for real. And in the next levels, creatures get even stronger, and now they have this force field defending them. And this makes it super hard to kill them. You need tons of shots just to take out the force field. Then you still have to kill them. And besides that, sometimes they have multiple defenses, like this gator here. He has a force field and still has this helmet on his head. The creature used everything he had to defend himself. The only positive thing is that we unlocked a new weapon, which is this alien gun. This is one of the best in the game. This one I used until the end, until the last levels. It hits the enemy, kind of giving them a shock, and also paralyzes them while shooting, not letting them move. But not everything is perfect, so the next level gets worse. Now creatures stay inside a wooden crate. Yes, a wooden crate wrapped like it's a gift for you. A gift, a surprise. Oh, you think it's chill? So here, take a creature for you, to kill you and scare you. What saves us is this new alien weapon that paralyzes enemies. And my friend, check this out. Look at this. Look at this infestation of gators with force fields and still with alien helmets with antennas. My God, this electric battery and the Molotov saved me. Actually, in this craziness, I managed to unlock an achievement for burning 20 enemies with just one Molotov, and at this end here too. If it wasn't for the freezer, I would have died. And continuing, struggling a lot and going through rough times, almost dying several times, we finally pass these levels and get to the boss of episode 4. And this boss, as you can see here, is a giant alien ship. Seriously, it's so big, it doesn't even fit on the screen properly. And to destroy this ship, we have to shoot at these guns on it, and I'm gonna be honest, I thought it would be harder because of the ship's size, but it was actually super easy and easy enough to pass. And that's how we unlock another achievement. Actually, this is a bad part, because this is the last achievement related to finishing episodes. I think probably it's because the game used to only go up to episode 4, and those were all the achievements there were, and the game kept updating, adding new episodes, but Google Play or the game company itself didn't add new achievements. So only the achievements from the old game remained, from back when there were only 4 episodes. That's what I think anyway. Probably that's it. But anyway, now in the next episode, we have something really cool that's gonna happen, which is basically like a Chernobyl version of the game. Yes, a power plant exploded and caused mutation in several monsters, and things are about to get wild. At first, in the first level, creatures only come with this army helmet. So far, it's pretty chill. But in level 2, a new creature comes, which is this green slime. And you think, oh, it's actually pretty manageable. It's a slow creature. Then you take out half its health, and the thing literally duplicates into 2 with new health. 100% health. If you let too many of them pile up, they'll duplicate and things are gonna get tough. Look at how many creatures piled up here. If I didn't have these freezers, this battery that electrocutes enemies, it would be impossible to pass this. Seriously, it would be super hard. There's no way. You gotta have these items to use, otherwise it gets way too difficult. And in level 4, it's only insects, no creatures below. So obviously there had to be a new monster and it had to be a mutant insect. Yes, I think that's a firefly, right? But it's a giant mutant firefly. And yeah, man, I ended up dying to these damn insects. It was a level with only insects, and I still died. But these potions save our lives. We can revive and kill the rest of the damn insects. And obviously there had to be an achievement for us to unlock after letting 100 insects hit me. Yes, literally, letting 100 insects hit me. That's the achievement. And I kept going through these next 3 levels. Nothing much new. The only difference was that now creatures had this army helmet. All of them. Even insects, monsters, everything. Gators, everything had this army helmet. But in the middle of all this, I was kind of in the shop checking out upgrades. And I accidentally clicked on this gray upgrade, which means I don't have money to do the upgrade, right? And they offered me money to buy with real money, right? Microtransaction. But I quickly clicked away, refusing the offer. And then they made me an unbeatable offer, a spectacular promotion at almost half the price, selling 2 million coins for 38 bucks basically. I couldn't take it and ended up buying this 2 million coin pack. I was gonna have to farm tons of gold at the end to complete all upgrades and do 100% of the game. So I decided to make this purchase now, take advantage while it's cheap, because this offer might not show up again for me. And the original price was around 64 bucks. It was selling for 37, almost half. Pretty affordable actually. So I ended up deciding to buy that pack. And obviously with that, I started doing upgrades on everything I had. All the weapons, my explosives, the defenses. And in this process, I got an achievement for upgrading 5 weapons to max level. Just like that. And now with us all upgraded and stronger, we move on to our next level. And honestly, there are more and more monsters. And there are so many different ones. Some shooting from far away, others up close, some fast. So you gotta be really careful, using lots of explosives, freezer, electric battery, everything we have, we're using. And after completing this level, we unlock another weapon, which is this nuclear weapon, mutant weapon. I don't know what the hell this thing is, but this weapon is one of the best of all. Super clutch too, so I'm gonna use it a lot. I'm doing a combo with it now with this alien gun plus this nuclear weapon, which is really cool. And in the next level, we have another new enemy, which is this mutant cow. And what she does is throw Molotovs at your face and at your house, destroying and setting everything on fire. Yes, she's super irritating. So if you don't kill her, she's gonna keep throwing fire Molotovs all the time, and you're gonna end up dying. And everything was going smoothly. I was passing all the next levels super easily without dying. Even though I was losing a lot of health, I wasn't dying in any of these levels. Until this new creature showed up, which is this janitor, cleaning lady, or cleaner. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, what the gender of this creature is, but it does something super annoying, which is suck up all the items you throw. You threw a freezer, it sucks it up. You threw a stop sign, it sucks it up. You threw a Molotov, it's gonna suck up the Molotov too. Literally, it sucks up everything with its vacuum cleaner and nothing is left. So whenever you see one, you gotta be careful to shoot them in the face so they don't suck up your items. Because if lots of creatures come, you won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to freeze everyone with the freezer, and things are gonna get tough. Just like what happened to me. As you can see, I ended up dying because I couldn't kill these creatures and they sucked up all my items. So I went back, bought ammo for everything, geared up, and then yeah, I went back to kill these damn janitors. And now, yeah, I managed to pass this level. And it was still easy enough, actually. I still had more than half my health. And then we ended up unlocking this RPG, which it's kind of decent. Didn't love it. I thought it would be way better because it has very little ammo. Only 10 that we can use. And in the end, it doesn't even kill that many monsters at once. So I thought it was kind of weak, kind of lame. So I kept going and passing several levels, grinding like crazy, even dying a few times until we finally get to the boss of episode 5. And this boss, as you can see, is a giant mutant monster red one. And the most annoying part of this fight against this boss is that there are several of these damn janitors stealing all the items I throw. I literally can't throw a freezer, a battery, nothing. I have to just stick to basics, just bullets, just shooting, literally. And to make it worse, this thing also shoots fireballs at me, man. This boss here is one of the hardest in this game, no joke. But I just decided to completely ignore these crappy janitors and not use any items and just shot him up. I unloaded all my mags, everything, from this nuclear weapon, this thing, this alien gun, everything. I unloaded into his head, and that's how I managed to kill this monstrous creature. And now, as you can see in the next episode, it takes place a year after this nuclear explosion, this power plant that exploded and screwed everything up. And now we have these creatures. I have no idea what they are. And there's also this old lady who I know who she is. She's going to be a helper who's going to help a lot in the future. You'll see. This defense is going to be really clutch. And the first level of this episode didn't have much change. Literally nothing new. It was just a mix of all the things we had in previous episodes. But in level 2 of this episode, we have something new. Now these damn raccoons have literally a motorboat coming at full speed right at us. So you gotta be really careful because they're super fast now, and if they get close to you, they're gonna explode and do massive damage to you. And finishing this episode, we unlock another achievement for managing to kill 150 fireflies. But then, moving on to the next level, we have this new creature. I don't know if it's a skunk, but it literally has a bazooka in its hand. Yes, this does massive damage, and if many of them pile up, it's gonna take tons of health. Yeah. Things are starting to get harder, especially in this next level here with the UFO. I ran out of all ammo, nothing left, and tons of these creatures with bazookas came, and other creatures too. Everything mixed together, and it got super hard. I almost died at the end. You can see my health was really low, but I managed to pass. And after passing the next level, which was actually super chill, we unlock this new shotgun, which is this double barrel shotgun. This one is super strong, for real. It does way more damage. And how does the game respond to this? Obviously, with a level with tons of monsters piling up and lots of creatures, one on top of another, creating chaos. But at least after passing it, we're way stronger now with this double barrel. We get a new achievement for managing to take the helmet off 100 of these beavers. In the next level, we have another new enemy. And this time, yes, it's a skunk. And he's not very hard to kill. His problem is that he jumps from above. So he doesn't start from way back there, getting close to you way faster. And then I went to the shop to do some upgrades on our weapons and upgraded this double barrel shotgun. And doing that, we unlock another achievement for managing to upgrade the double barrel shotgun to max level. And in the next level, we have another one of those with the ship that keeps stealing all your ammo. And this one was super easy. Lots of creatures piled up, especially this new skunk that keeps jumping from above. A bit annoying, but easy enough. And unlocking this level, we get our first helper for our defense for our house, which is this old lady. So I buy her right away and equip her and upgrade her to max level. And as you can see, she stays on the front line protecting our house. And whenever a creature gets close, they first have to get through her before getting to our house and destroying us. And look at all these raccoons in this part. Seriously. After finishing this level, we go back to the shop, buy more ammo for everything because we're using tons of ammo. The creatures are super strong. And moving on to the next level, we have another new monster, which is this creature that keeps throwing bombs. Yes, and after that, besides him, we also unlock this airplane, which is one of the items we can use. I thought it was pretty weak. It kind of drops some bombs. Compared to the others, I think the others are way stronger, so I used this one very little. And after a long grind and many levels done, we finally get to the boss of episode 6. And as you can see, this boss is this weird creature with many eyes. And we start off with this annoying creature shooting several bazooka shots at us. For real, what an unbearable creature. And right after that, the boss starts coming with just those big eyes. And the fight with him basically works like this. He's gonna open one eye and you have to shoot at that eye to damage him. If you shoot at another spot, he doesn't take damage, only at the eye, and it stays open for a really short time and closes and opens in another spot. So you have to keep switching and alternating between eyes to kill him. He releases this green poison mist, I don't know what this is, that does massive damage to us. So you have to be really fast, because if you take too long, he'll kill you with all this poison. Since I could use the freezer here, it was way easier to pass and kill this boss. And in the next episode, as you can see, there's this crazy doctor. So you guys can expect there's going to be lots of weird creatures for us to face in this weird swamp. And right off the bat in this episode, we have again this helmet that looks like a lollipop. I don't know, something kind of hypnotizing you, you know. that gives even more resistance to the creatures. So this entire first episode is about introducing all the monsters with this new helmet. But getting to level 3, we have a new mechanic, which is this ship that keeps falling down and dropping several creatures on top of us. In other words, now there are going to be several creatures that won't come from behind, but are going to start right in the middle. And when this piles up, my friend, it's tons of creatures all at once and right in the middle, right in your face to kill you. The old lady here is already asking for help and almost quitting her job. Seriously, look at her dead face asking for help. And in the next level, besides the raccoons with this boat coming super fast, they're still using this damn helmet that gives them tons of resistance. But the good thing about this level is that at the end, after we finish it, we unlock 2 achievements. One for hitting 50 of these raccoons using the boat, and another for managing to hit 100 of these rockets that keep falling with enemies before they hit the ground. And the next level is one of these with the ship stealing our ammo. As always, they're a bit more complicated than the others because, you know, we're left with just basics. Just the shotgun, but I managed to pass it super easily. I didn't lose that much health, and at the end, we unlock another helper for us, which is this old man now, and he's way better than the old lady, because he's equipped with a shotgun. This helps a ton. He can damage creatures from far away and doesn't necessarily need to wait for creatures to get close. So this is really good and it's gonna help us a lot. And now, my friends, in the next level, things get even more complicated. You remember that creature that keeps vacuuming and pulling all your items that you throw? Well, now things got worse because we have a suction machine, and besides sucking up your items, it also throws them back at your face. Depending on what you send, like for example, a Molotov, it throws the Molotov back at you, burning the entire house. So you gotta be smart and kill them right away. And besides that, now we have another new thing to make monsters stronger, which is this machine with this green liquid. What it does is basically make monsters even stronger with more health and more damage. So now things are getting harder and harder. But then you might say, oh no, it's chill, that's actually easy, doesn't change much, it's fine. Oh, it's fine? So let's go to the next level. In this one, we have another new thing, which is this rocket with these propellers on top that makes enemies even faster. There's something that takes all our items and sucks them up and throws them back. There's something that makes enemies stronger, and there's still another one that makes enemies faster. So they're all buffed up, they're super strong. The next 2 levels after that were actually super chill, and the reason they're still manageable is because these are earlier levels of this episode, obviously. They're kind of trying to introduce this new buff mechanic for enemies and all that. And in the middle of these levels, I take a break to do some upgrades in the shop, and after upgrading the acid rain to max level, we unlock another achievement for getting 15 upgrades to max level. But alright, then there's another one to make creatures more annoying and harder to kill. And this one, being honest, in my opinion, is even worse than the others. Worse than the one that gives speed, worse than the one that gives damage, worse than the one that sucks, even worse than the suction one, which is this creature here that heals enemies. Yes, it heals. You won't be able to kill creatures while you don't kill it. It's kind of mandatory to kill it first, because otherwise it keeps healing. Unless you have a weapon, I don't know, a minigun that does tons of damage super fast, you won't be able to kill them if you don't kill this creature that heals. This is the support episode, for real. And finishing this level, we get another achievement. And this time, I'm gonna let this healing thing heal an enemy for up to 1,000 damage. And in this next level, we unlock an achievement that honestly, I didn't understand at all. And it's basically for managing to kill 10 evil blasters before they hit us. But I looked it up on Google to see who these enemies are, just to understand, because I didn't know which one it was exactly. And it seemed like they were those guns that stay attached there shooting at you. But I haven't even unlocked them yet at this point in the game. So I didn't understand at all. I don't know if it was supposed to be these creatures that have this bazooka in their hand or not, because the only different creature there was this one. So honestly, I didn't understand this trophy, but whatever, I'll accept the trophy. It's all good. Maybe it's a bug in the game. Maybe I was supposed to get it later and it ended up unlocking now, but another trophy in the count. And we went through these next levels without much new stuff. The only new thing was this beehive we got, and the rest of the missions were super easy to pass, not much difficulty. Until we finally get to the boss of this episode. And as you can see, it's this crazy robot. And it's a really hard boss because it's kind of a combination of all the buffs we had in this episode. Like, for example, the one that sucks up our items, the one that makes enemies stronger, the one that makes enemies faster, all of that combined into one. Especially for these annoying creatures with bazookas throwing bombs at us, it makes this level super hard. But we managed to pass easily, unloading all the bullets into them. And as you can see, the crazy scientist is going to join forces with the aliens. So now things are going to get serious, it's going to get super hard, for real. In these first levels of this episode, there was nothing new, no new monsters, but it was super hard because it mixed several monsters all at once. And especially because they have this alien force field protecting them. But besides that, when we finish the second level, we unlock another achievement, which is X-Ray, managing to kill 1,000 enemies with this alien weapon. But moving forward, in the next levels, this new thing shows up. This machine that keeps attacking us, which is basically a gun that the crazy scientist made together with the aliens. It does quite a bit of damage, so you can't mess around. You gotta destroy it. And after completing this mission, we unlock another achievement, managing to kill 100 mutant cows with firearms. The next item we unlock is this piano. You just throw it on top of creatures' heads and it kills everyone. But besides that, we also unlock another helper, which is this bear that throws Molotovs. This bear is also really strong. He's way better than that annoying old lady who only attacks up close. So I swapped out the old lady for this bear, along with the old man who uses a shotgun. Now yeah, our house is well protected. So I kept grinding like crazy until I got to the last level of this episode and finally got to the boss man. And check out the boss of this level. It's literally a war tank made by the crazy scientist together with the aliens. And there's still this thing on top that shoots besides the bazookas. So we start the level off by throwing this nuclear bomb, which actually I forgot to tell you guys, but I unlocked this nuclear bomb and it's really good. I can only hold one ammo at a time, but it's super clutch. It literally sends a nuclear bomb that kills all creatures. Obviously it won't kill the boss in one hit, but it takes tons of health from the boss. Oh, actually, I also unlocked another achievement from this nuclear bomb for using it. I just kept unloading all my ammo along with this battery, electrocuting everything there. And that's how I managed to kill the boss. This boss was actually easy enough to pass, but you'll see that the last boss is super hard. He's really tough to kill. And for the next episode, as you can see, the crazy scientist kind of gets pissed at these aliens. Probably thinking like, these crappy aliens don't help me at all. And then this creature shows up. I don't know what this creature is. It's a buffalo, a pig, but it's probably going to be the boss of the next episode. So we start this next episode, and right off the bat, what's new is this helmet. As always, every episode they have a new helmet, and this time it's this helmet that looks like a police helmet, which obviously is going to give more resistance to creatures. These first levels all didn't have much new stuff. It was just putting all the monsters with this helmet. Until we got to level 7, where we're introduced to 2 new monsters. One is this creature that keeps coming down from above with a gun shooting at you, obviously also wearing a police helmet, and this other big pig that keeps diving and surfacing all the time doing damage to you. This one is pretty annoying, passing all these levels super easily until level 15, 16, nothing new, just putting monsters with helmets, pretty safe. And in the middle of all this, I ended up getting another achievement for killing 100 enemies with the piano. Seriously, this piano is super good. You just throw it on the guys' heads and kill everyone. But it's like that. This game doesn't make it easy. Everything was chill until we got to this level with a new monster. And this one, my friends, is annoying and irritating. You remember that green slime that duplicates when you take out half its health? Well, here comes a way worse one, this blue one. This one, when you take out half its health, it duplicates, all right? But then after they duplicate, when you take out half their health, they duplicate again. In other words, one monster becomes 4 afterward. This is insane. And getting to the boss of this episode, we have this big pig. So I started off right away by dropping the atomic bomb on his head, taking out at least some health with this bomb. And then, obviously, I threw all the pianos I had at his head. But this one got close to killing me. Seriously, he managed to get past my defenses and almost got to me, but luckily I managed to kill him first, because I was already getting low on health, otherwise I would have ended up dying. And with that, we finished this episode, and now we're going to episode 10, which was supposed to be the last episode, but don't worry, I'll comment about that later. Look, as you can see, this episode is going to have this theme with these two creatures, these two hippos, and right away it reminded me of Moto Moto, and this is basically a construction theme. So all enemies are going to be in construction mode. There's going to be this construction helmet now, and that's going to be it. And this episode has lots of new enemies, like, for example, this one. If I'm not mistaken, it's a machine that spins cement, but instead of that, it's full of dynamite, throwing it at my house and destroying everything. And finishing this level, we get another achievement. And this time, I was able to not let these otters hit our house with these damn bombs. Then later on, literally Moto Moto shows up. Yes, tons of them. And he doesn't shoot from far away, but he's super resistant. And continuing, passing more levels, we unlock a new helper. And this one is one of the best of all. Seriously. Way better than these last ones, like this construction guy and this old man. And what he does is basically throw bricks at enemies' faces. Yes, he throws bricks. And surprisingly, the bricks do way more damage than bullets. So he's really good at helping us big time in this final stretch of the game. So I equip him right away and also buy these new bombs now that are available, that are going to defend us by staying on the front line. And moving forward, there's another new thing to mess with us. Yes, this time now there's this bucket full of water, and tons of piranhas keep jumping out of it, going into the lake and killing us. This is crazy, super annoying, especially in a level where tons of these buckets start coming and piranhas don't stop coming from everywhere. And after a long grind, tons of suffering, we finally finish all levels of this episode and get to the final boss. And obviously, this final boss had to be a weird construction monstrosity, full of weapons to attack you. So we start off by dropping a bomb on his face to blow everything up, take out half the creature's health, and start unloading all the mags into him. But something sad happens here that really pissed me off in this level, which is literally a bug that only happens in this level. Every time I defeat this first gun in the front, the game literally crashes and closes, and I can't finish this boss. So like, I had to try many times to kill this boss, several times repeating this level. If I'm not mistaken, it was like 7-8 times that I tried to kill this boss so it wouldn't bug out. And the only strategy I managed to find that wouldn't bug the game was to try to destroy this first gun at the same time as the second one. Yes, it's super difficult. I had to time throwing the nuclear bomb right, and since the nuclear bomb is super strong, it could manage to kill both at once. And that was the only way I managed to find to kill this boss without bugging and crashing the game. It sucked, but what can you do? I don't know if this only happens in the PC version or if it also happens on mobile, on phones, but it sucked. And after killing this creature, this monstrosity, we finally finished the game's campaign, doing all levels and completing the main story and beating the game. Whether you want to or not, we beat at least the main campaign. The credits start appearing with the guys who did animation, the art, the programmer, and let me tell you something. I thought the game's design was really cool, especially the art. It's got a really different vibe, super cool, I really liked it. And after that, I went after the evil levels, because basically we have to do everything again now. Yes, all levels from episode 1 to episode 10, just way harder. So I started with this boss right away, and since it's all bugged, let's see if I can do it now. So I tried, did the same strategy I was using, gonna use the nuclear bomb, trying to destroy both weapons at the same time, but I couldn't. Yes, I couldn't. There was just no way. I tried, and the game kept crashing, bugging, closing. So I'm just gonna skip this level, let it go, and do the others. And so to take a break and not keep repeating these same levels all over again, and take at least a break switching up the content a bit, you know, so it wouldn't get too repetitive, I decided to do all the challenge levels, which are basically 66 levels with way higher difficulty. It's harder than all the levels we played up to now. And they have a difference where we don't need to keep buying ammo or anything, because the missions and weapons are specific to each level. So we open this box at the beginning and it gives us some weapons and some ammo, some items too. And we can only use that for the entire level. So you're gonna have to learn to manage all your ammo and weapons so you don't end up using everything and be left with just the shotgun. Because sometimes you don't even have a shotgun, you only have the other weapons. So you gotta be careful. And these first levels I managed to do super easily, without much trouble. But as I kept advancing and passing levels, there came a point where it started getting hard, especially this one. Tons of these green and blue slimes started showing up, and as you remember, this blue one is the hardest of all, because they multiply up to 4 times. So I had to use everything I had. This pepper, potions because I was dying a lot. What can I do, man? It's tough, it's rough, so I had to use them. And there were some where I even had to face a boss man. Actually, I even got some new items that are only in this challenge mode. Like for example, this scarecrow, which seriously, for me, is one of the best in the game. Gotta use it in all levels I'm gonna do now. It basically keeps pushing enemies away, blowing them back with wind, and enemies can't get close to the scarecrow, at least while it's there. It's super clutch and helps a ton, especially in these levels that have tons of creatures and monsters pile up. It's super useful. And advancing to the next levels, getting to level 40, we have literally a new boss. Yes, a boss specific to this mode. And it's an alternate version of that big pig from episode 9 that we played. And I couldn't take it. Ended up dying and having to use a potion to kill this thing. Seriously, this is intense. And after killing it, we literally unlock a new item, which is this pig. It's also really good. I'm not going to talk bad about it. It's good, but I think the scarecrow is way better. And this pig works like this. It keeps rolling and pushing enemies, but it only pushes in the line it's in. And the scarecrow already pushes everyone, not just in a straight line. So I thought it was way better. And seriously, getting to level 55, 56, things got insane. Super hard. Seriously. I died a lot, had to use tons of potions. These last levels, if you don't use any potions, nothing, keep dying and restarting from 0, it's super hard. It's probably going to take you several attempts, at least like 30 tries for you to manage to pass this, unless you're really good. There was a level that had 2 bosses together at the same time killing you, dude. Insane. Now, when we get to the last levels, my friend, look at this. This damn blue and green slime. These guys duplicate like crazy, and look at how many creatures there are that can kill me. Seriously, tell me this is possible to pass without using a potion or a pepper. There's no way, man. There are too many creatures. And besides, you can't use your own items, like that nuclear bomb that would end everything, or a freezer. You just have to use what the level gives you. That's it. It's super hard. In this level here, I only managed to pass it because I used tons of potions, reviving all the time because it's impossible. Too many of these blue creatures pile up and they keep duplicating and increasing the number more and more. It's impossible to pass normally. Look at that. I don't even have proper items to use. And with tons of struggle, tons of suffering, and tons of potions, I managed to pass this crap, which, by the way, was the last level 66. And that's how we finally complete all challenge levels, unlocking the most overpowered weapon in the game, this minigun. This one is super broken and it's really good. The only sad part is that the ammo runs out super fast, so you gotta have 1,000 there with ammo fully loaded, and even then, if you use it for too long, it runs out quickly. And in this process, I also got many achievements that I forgot to mention, like for example, splitting 300 of those green and blue slimes, shooting that oil thing while it's in the air, killing 300 skunks, and another achievement I also got was losing 5 times. Yes, it was only here that I managed to lose 5 times in these damn challenge levels. Yeah, I also used potions though, so I'm not gonna be unfair here. And finally, another achievement, I managed to survive 15 levels with less than 10% health. Yes, obviously I was gonna pass these levels with very little health. It had to be. And after that, I decided to do the rest of the evil levels, which was the only thing left to do for 100% of the game. And along with that, also get the rest of the achievements, obviously. And while I went through all these levels again, I got an achievement for passing 15 of these evil levels. And in this process of tons of grinding, the next 2 achievements I went after were one for getting 100 multi-kills with RPG, which by the way, was super hard. I thought I just had to kill 100 enemies, but actually I had to get 100 multi-kills, which was harder, but I got it. And the other achievement was to use 100 of these airplanes, which was super easy. I just had to keep using all of them I had during the level. And you remember that mutant cow? Well, there's an achievement related to them. I need to destroy 100 of these Molotovs they throw while they're in the air. This one was actually super easy because I just had to let them keep throwing and destroying. Then after a while, I'd kill them. So it was super easy to get this achievement. And after a bit more grinding, I also got an achievement for passing 30 evil levels. And this next achievement I got is ultra rare. I don't know why, because it's super easy to get. Maybe it's because most people don't go after achievements, but anyway, this next one, you remember that cleaning lady? Well, I need to throw 30 items at her so she can vacuum them up. And it was super easy. I equip 30 items and throw them in her face for her to vacuum. The next one was kinda interesting. At first, I didn't understand how to do this achievement, so I had to look it up on Google. Luckily, I found someone talking in a forum about how to do it, which was basically changing the radio station 10 times in the same level. But like, what radio? Well, you see this radio in the house? You just gotta keep clicking on it 10 times and it's gonna keep changing stations, and that's how you get the achievement. This time, it's the suction machine. And with it, I have to make 20 items get thrown back at me. And I don't know exactly which items can be thrown back. The only one I knew there that could work was either dynamite or Molotov that it can throw back. So I did it with Molotov, kept throwing tons of Molotovs at its face, and it threw everything back at me, and that's how I got the achievement. The next one is kind of interesting too, called Helper Solo. Basically, I had to let the helpers finish the level for me. In other words, I didn't do anything. I just stood there, let the guys do my work for me. I just put on the first level there, the easiest level of all, and they managed to pass it super easily. Now this one was a bit tricky. It wasn't hard, but it was a bit annoying. Took like 3-4 tries to get it, which was finishing these UFO levels without shooting at any of those ships that steal our ammo, right? Because I shoot at them and I can recover ammo. In other words, I had to finish the level only with my shotgun, which isn't hard because the early levels are super easy. But I ended up shooting at the ship accidentally many times, but I managed to pass after a while. And there's an achievement that really sums up what I did in the game, called Grinder. And it's not that grinder you're thinking about, alright man? It's grinder from grinding in the game, okay? Which is finishing the same level 10 times. Obviously, I did the easiest level of all, which is level 1. Just repeated it 10 times and got the achievement. Now, instead of finishing the same level 10 times, I have to die 10 times. This one is even easier. I just need to die. Just do nothing. Stand still and let the creatures kill me. And while I was doing these evil levels, I literally discovered something that left me shocked. The game literally updated. Yes, the game updated, bringing another new episode. Episode 11. Man, do you realize this game hadn't updated in 2 years? It updated right when I'm making a video doing 100% of the game. I was already getting happy thinking I was finishing everything, and the game literally updates with even more levels to do. But it brings a really cool new mechanic, really interesting, and also super difficult, which are buffs for enemies. You see this heart in the background? Well, whenever it's active, it makes enemies have more health. And as you can notice, there are several others in the background. There's one with a gun, one with a shield, one with that corn thing, one with a fireball. Each one gives something specific. The shield one obviously is going to give more resistance to creatures. The weapon one is going to give them more damage, and so on. And another new thing in this update was these dual shotguns. It's literally 2 shotguns with double barrels. For real, it's way better than the last one. So I bought it right away and did some upgrades. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough money to do all upgrades, but don't worry. To finish this video, I'm going to do all upgrades on all weapons, including this new one that came out. And the final levels of this episode were super hard, especially because several of these buffs pile up together at once. And besides these buffs, they also have debuffs. In other words, in certain levels, I can't use some items. Like for example, this electric battery. Enemies are literally resistant to electricity and don't take any damage from electricity. This goes for fire, everything. Everything in the game, there are some levels where they have resistance. even to ice, and this makes it way harder. For me, what messed me up most was the resistance to electricity, because that's what I use the most. So many creatures, so many monsters attacking you all at the same time. It basically puts together all enemies we've seen up to now in all episodes, just in this one all together. And on top of that, with buffs and debuffs. It's just insane. Finally, we get to the boss of this episode, which is this big ship full of bombs throwing at us. And man, I'm gonna be honest, I thought this boss was actually super easy. The last one, for example, I thought was way harder, but this one was actually manageable. And now, yes, finally, we complete the campaign and finish all episodes. Seriously, I need to finish this video soon and post it before these guys update this game again. Otherwise, I'm gonna die. It's gotta be over an hour of video already. And while I was grinding the rest of the evil levels, I got the rest of the achievements. And now we move on to some even more grindy achievements that took more time. So much that I only got it the next day of playing, not on that same day. Which is basically killing 1,000 enemies with the minigun. Yes, 1,000 enemies. You think that's not much? Easy to do? Well, check out this next achievement. Take off 2,000 of the mutant helmets. Yes, 2,000 helmets. This was a super annoying and time-consuming grind. At least I had to go through all these levels again, so I was already doing that and got this trophy. And finally, one of the last trophies I got in the game was for managing to pass 70 of these evil levels. And well, now I have some sad news for you guys. I'm not going to be able to get all achievements, because the game literally bugged out the rest of the achievements for me. I can't get them. I tried several times, I kept grinding. As you can see, there are achievements for killing 100 enemies, 1,000 enemies. Man, I've already killed over 10,000. There's no way I haven't gotten these achievements yet. It just froze. The counter froze and won't move from there. And it happened with many of them, not just a few. But I got lucky in one aspect, because there are some achievements that are specific to multiplayer mode, but it doesn't exist anymore. It was from a long time ago. It starts with winning several matches in a row and stuff like that, but one day I restarted the game, opened it again, and the game literally just gave me several of these achievements all at once without me doing anything. I just opened the game and got tons of achievements. So at least I'm gonna have more achievements counted, even though I can't get 100%. And after that, I just kept grinding and grinding endlessly until I finished all evil levels in the game, which are many. And in the middle of this process, while I was doing all these, I also finished doing all upgrades on this new weapon that came out. And now, yes, after all of this, we finally complete the full 100% of Swamp Attack. For real, this was the most annoying grind of all the games I've done so far. It's just insane. There are 11 episodes with tons of levels, and I still have to repeat everything all over again in the evil levels, besides the challenge levels we have to do. So things are just insane. So seriously, if you guys can drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hype up the video, it helps me a ton. And now, yes, with the entire game complete, we're finally finishing the video here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.